The election may be over, but it could be a while before we know who the next president of the United States is. I'm Chris Warner with whether or not this is unusual and what happens next.
And we learn from an expert in patience about how to use yours while awaiting results.
The 4 states most watched news starts now.
We're still awaiting final numbers on the presidential race, but here in the 4 states, voters made it pretty clear who they want in the White House. This is KOAM News at 6. Every county in our area favored President Trump. In this list, the counties with the highest percentage vote for the president are at the top. President Trump received more than 80% of the vote in 4 counties in our viewing area. Those were Barton County, McDonald County, Wilson County, and Woodson County. The highest former Vice President Biden reached in any area county was 39% of the vote. That was in Labette County. In Crawford County, Biden had 38%. While counting is still going on in some states across the nation, local officials say it could be some time before we have a definitive winner. KOAM's Chris Warner has more.
In a typical presidential election, we typically have a good idea of who the winner will be that night. But this year, we didn't. Jasper County Clerk Charlie Davis says the only other time that happened was in the 2000 election between George Bush and Al Gore. He says this one could take a bit longer to decide.
The thing about this election is I don't think it's going to be decided in a few days. I think it's going to be decided in weeks or months because I'm sure that there's going to be some court challenges that may potentially go up to the Supreme Court.
In our election Insta poll, we asked you, how confident are you that votes will be counted properly nationwide? Well, 63% of you said you weren't confident, while only 26% said you were. So we went to Mercy Park in Joplin to see how residents feel.
When you get one vote that's in Arizona and you call it for, another candidate, it just doesn't make sense. I don't understand that, how that could happen. So I just don't trust it.
Yes, I think they will. I think there may be some discrepancies, but for the most part, I think they will be accurate.
I would say I'm 90% assured that they will be. With our automated process that's in effect, I think it should and could work.
Davis says he feels that people have confidence in local vote counting.
Talking to the people that have come here and voted absentee, because we voted almost 7,000 people in person absentee, and people were excited. People were really energized as saying, so it goes into the machine immediately. It's like, absolutely. And they felt that their vote actually counted.
In Joplin and Carthage, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
To keep up on the latest national numbers in the race for the presidency, you can visit our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and just click the link at the top of the page. Leading up to yesterday's election, local party committees put in a lot of work trying to secure votes for their candidates. On the Republican side, the Southwest Missouri Republicans opened their office in Joplin in June. Southwest Missouri Democrats had worked just as long. And now with Election Day behind us, both committees are taking a break. Then we'll be right back to work.
We'll start having meetings and talking about local issues, talking about legislative issues, talking about recruiting candidates, and talking about how we deal with ballot initiatives.
And we're going to continue to recruit candidates that we feel like would have the leadership skills to move Missouri forward.
Both committees are also still keeping a close eye, of course, on that very close presidential election. Voters in northeastern Oklahoma elected a new sheriff. David Bean defeated incumbent Jeremy Floyd in Ottawa County by more than 2,000 votes. Bean has more than 20 years of experience in law enforcement and served in the armed forces. He says he's ready to get to work once he takes office in January.
The citizens of this county need to have bodies as far as deputies in the field. We do not have the best laws in the state as far as theft and drugs. And because of those laws, our thefts are through the roof. And we need some bodies out there to try to help these citizens.
Crawford County, Kansas also had a sheriff's race. The current sheriff, Danny Smith, defeated challenger J.J. Carlinger by more than 1,500 votes. Smith first took office in April of 2019 after Dan Peake retired midterm. Now he's looking forward to working for the next 4 years.
I just want to continue what we've done for the next 4 years and leave a positive impact on the community. That's our job. And like I said, we have a lot of good programs that we've done just in the last year and a half. And I just want to be able to continue to do that. And the next 4 years, I'm excited to see what we can do.
Checking in with Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather now.
Well, another great day for us today. A pretty good stretch. We're on about day 5 that we've had, actually day 6 that we've had fantastic weather. Had some more clouds today. These are mid and upper level clouds. There's nothing underneath them. These are just going to pass on through during the evening hours. But again, just not too much going on across most of the lower 48. Look at our temperatures. It stinks that it's already pitch dark out there, but we're still holding into the mid 60s. We got these south winds that are going to keep our temperatures up for us tonight at about 5 to 15. What this will do is only allow our temps to drop back into lower 50s a little bit later on tonight. Through the evening hours, we're going to slide back through the 60s, 50s, down into lower 50s later on tonight. 70s stick around the next few days, but we do have some pretty big changes which are going to roll in a little bit down the road. We're going to discuss that here in a bit.
All right, we'll catch you then. A Joplin woman who was accused of abandoning her husband's corpse has lost a bid to get the body back. A judge dismissed Barbara Waters' lawsuit that sought to recover her husband's body and some documents that were taken during the investigation. Now, the suit was dismissed without prejudice due to the plaintiff's Waters' quote, failure to respond to court directives. In December 2019, prosecutors charged Waters with abandonment of a corpse after police discovered her husband's body in a freezer in the couple's home months after his death. Waters' case was ultimately dismissed when a Jasper County judge ruled the evidence did not prove that Waters intended to abandon her husband's body. 2 former Delaware County, Oklahoma jailers, Charles Hayes and Shelley Mayberry, plead guilty to charges that they tased inmates without just cause. Hayes pled guilty to 7 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. He gets 7-year deferred sentence and is placed on probation. The court also ordered Hayes to pay more than $24,000 in fines and court costs. He's barred from working in law enforcement or corrections for the time of the deferment. Mayberry, who you see here, gets a 5-year deferred sentence and probation for 2 of the 7 counts filed against her. She also cannot work in law enforcement or corrections. A woman is dead from a crash today involving a Joplin School District utility van. No passengers were in the van. This happened this morning near Joplin's 20th Street Bridge, close to the high school. Police say 31-year-old Lauren Safley was killed when her car crossed the center line and hit the van head-on. A passenger in her car and the driver of the van were both taken to the hospital. Still ahead, how Missouri Southern is educating students about the business behind art. But first, we could all use a little patience right now. We found someone who can help us get back to the basics. Boy, election years can be stressful, especially now. You probably know that as people await results from a tight presidential race. But the key to stress relief might be patience. KOAM's Caitlin Shive spoke with a Webb City kindergarten teacher who takes us back to the basics.
We all learned at an early age to practice patience, but now more than ever that lesson rings true as we sit back and wait to hear the final results of the 2020 presidential election.
We have become a society that we get things immediate, and it's fantastic to have all that technology, but in the real world, we still have to wait our turn and we still have to practice that patience. And as adults, it's important for us to model that to our kids.
In stressful situations like waiting longer than expected for election results, we may be feeling frustrated or angry. Kindergarten teacher Karen Dingman says it's all about going back to the basics we learned as kids to help us deal with trying times.
There are a lot of things that will test our patience when we're driving down the road, when we're waiting our turn in a drive-through line or at a store to check out. There are plenty of opportunities to practice that patience, and the same skills that we teach our kindergartners are the skills that we need as adults too.
Deep breathing, distracting yourself with other things, and just simply walking around can help lessen those feelings of impatience. 5-year-old Kobe says he doesn't mind being patient, waiting for his turn on the playground or for show and tell, but it can be hard for him sometimes having patience with family.
What about when you're at home with your parents? Do you ever have to practice patience there?
Oh.
No?
A lot.
You do?
Yeah.
With what?
With my little nephew.
And even I got a lesson in patience, trying to connect with kids while they're preoccupied with toys.
Tell me maybe a story about when you've had to do that.
Almost everywhere I go.
Why's that?
Because when we go to the playground, whatever I get on, he gets on.
Really?
And whenever we play baseball, whatever I throw, he goes and just gets it.
How does that make you feel?
A tiny bit mad.
Really? Is that when you really have to be patient with him because he is younger than you?
Yes.
Patience and kindness go a long way. Being able to sit back and wait our turn and know that no matter what happens, it's going to be okay.
In Webb City, Caitlin Shive, KOAM News.
They say everything we need to know we learned in kindergarten. A little bit later, Nevada football has seen quite the turnaround. We're going to hear from the head coach.
And we've had nice temperatures over the past couple days, but the question is, how long are they going to stick around? We're going to look at that coming up. It has definitely been a nice stretch of weather over the past several days, really dating back to last Friday once we got rid of all the rain that we had last week. It's been great. We've been into the 70s the past couple days. In fact, 70s aren't going anywhere over the next few days, which is great. Mid-70s, Election Tuesday, mid-70s, kind of still trying to figure out Election Wednesday, and it looks like the 70s stick around as we work through the next few days. Temperatures right now, 64 in Fort Scott, 62 in Jay. Of course, our evening daylight hours are pretty much gone. It's pitch dark at about 6 o'clock. 61 in Monette. Independence is sitting at 66 degrees, but our south winds keeping our temps up just a bit at about 5 to 15. We may get gusts a little bit higher than that, but what that will allow us to do is not fall back too far for us tonight. We have the clouds, which of course it's dark now, looking east from the station, sitting at 65, south winds at 12, humidity is at 42%. Through the rest of the evening hours, we'll slide back through the 60s, 50s, but those south winds will keep those temperatures up, so we'll only drop back lower 60s, or actually lower 50s later on tonight. Clouds we're working through. These are mid and upper level clouds. It's a weak little upper level wave. It's not really doing anything. It gives us clouds, but there's nothing underneath them, so we're going to stay dry. But you can see this wave pushing through, but besides that, nothing's going on across the entire lower 48. We can go up into the Gulf of Alaska. We have storm systems starting to line up, so that will really increase our pattern or pick it up as we head into next week. But for the next several days, it's pretty much what we have been seeing. Clouds work through tonight. We'll still have a few clouds during the morning hours, and then I do think we'll break out and see mostly sunny skies. We'll start at 53 as we go through the day. By noon, almost 70. So another great day, 69 by noon. High temp right around 73. South winds maybe a hair lighter than what we have seen today, but it looks great across the entire four-state area. Tomorrow night, I do think we'll get some more clouds in here, so partly cloudy skies and then partly sunny skies by Friday, but still into the 70s. Nothing going on. High school football looks fine Friday evening, and then Saturday looks great again as we should go into the 70s for high. So when are we going to see some changes? Let's go down the road. We're going to start on Friday. We're going to watch out to the west. Watch this storm system start to develop. So here's Sunday. We'll also be watching the tropics. We'll have Hurricane Ada, which is going to be just south of Florida. This system is going to continue to work through, give us some rain chances by late Sunday into Monday into Tuesday. We'll start to cool down just a bit. This system will pass on by. Then we'll get another system that drops in right behind it. So at least our pattern does start to pick up a little bit. But with this pattern this year, which we're going to be in for the next 10 months, we have these long stretches, these 7, 8, 10-day stretches that we just don't get much action, but still the storm systems we do get are pretty strong. We're going to talk more about that tonight at 10 with a month-long forecast. 73 tomorrow, 72 on Friday, 70 Saturday, 73 Sunday. A few showers could sneak in late Sunday. Better chances for rain Monday and Tuesday, also cooling back down for Veterans Day.
Loving these temperatures in the meantime.
Yeah, the weekend's going to be great.
Thanks, Doug. Well, the Nevada Tigers have had a big turnaround on the football field. We're going to hear from the team's head coach about what he'd like to see next for the program. The Nevada Tigers they're staying alive in the Missouri Class 4 playoffs. The Tigers will face Elias Catholic on Friday night in the district semifinals. Now, on Friday, Nevada beat Harrisonville 56-41 to open up the postseason. It's the Tigers' first playoff win since 2017. This year's been a big turnaround for the Nevada program after going 0-10 last season. The Tigers are 7-3 this year with a chance to move on to the district championship with a win on Friday.
I don't know if they can do anything to make us more proud, but it would be good for the program, obviously, and just good for them to get to experience it. Because I think these seniors deserve everything that's come to them this year. Last year was rough on them as juniors.
Tonight at 10, we're going to hear from a Nevada senior who missed all of last season with an injury, but has worked his way back to finish his high school career on a positive note. Missouri Southern is making sure students know about all of the careers available to them in the art world. Today, that was done through a Business of Art Symposium. Business and visual arts professionals presented insight into the business end of art careers.
It's one thing to kind of get lost in your studio making things and making a mess, but there's also the polished professional side that they have to present themselves with.
The symposium was made available free of charge on Zoom for students and the general public. Living in a virtual world doesn't mean we can't be physically active. That's the idea behind the Pittsburgh Parks and Recreation Department's OK Kids Day. Families can compete in several physical activities posted on the department's Facebook page. With each completed activity, families post a photo in the OK Kids Day Facebook event to be entered to win a grand prize.
Having fun, being able to enjoy that interaction with people, because right now people are probably really having a hard time with COVID and the pandemic, getting that one-on-one. But since you're with your family and your friends, your close friends, we're hoping that it'll be safer.
OK Kids Day is more than a day. It runs through November 14th. A final check on weather is next. Take time now to honor a local veteran, Private First Class Harold Dice. The Fredonia, Kansas native served in the U.S. Army, and we are proud to salute Private First Class Harold Dice. He's tonight's four-state hero. Checking back with Doug. Can't complain about these temps in November, Doug.
No, it looks great. We're only going to drop back lower 50s for us later on tonight. 73 tomorrow, 72 Friday, 70 on Saturday. In fact, I think most of the weekend looks pretty good. We may get a few showers that sneak in late Sunday. Better chances for rain Monday and Tuesday, and also dropping temperatures.
Month-long forecast tonight at 10. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.